I'm not trying to sell you on this idea in the sense of converting you to it. I'm not trying to prove it. I'm just putting it forward as a possibility of life to think about.
Everything within existence is an extension of divine God source energy flowing into this physical reality. Everything is made of vibrating energy.
What is the universe? The universe is a symphony of vibrating strings.
We are constantly sending out a signal of energy. We are beaming out a signal and emitting our own personal vibrational frequency of energy. And whatever energy we send out aligns us on a particular timeline that is a match to the frequency that we are sending out. Imagine endless timelines of reality all playing out at one time, each one accessible to us if we tune into and align with the frequency of that particular timeline.
And what does string theory say? It says that there is a multiverse of universes. Well, Einstein's equations give us this compelling picture that we are like insects on a soap bubble, a gigantic soap bubble which is expanding, and we are trapped like flies on flypaper. We can't escape the soap bubble. And that's called the Big Bang Theory. String theory says there should be other bubbles out there in a multiverse of bubbles. When two universes collide, it can form another universe. When a universe splits in half, it can create two universes.
It shows the two Earths, one is over the other, just barely. One is shining. That's the new Earth, as we separate from the old Earth.
Where she's talking about the two Earths. What they showed me is like, okay, these two are superimposed over each other. Because people are saying, they said, well, if this is happening, how does it look? I can still see all these things. These things are happening out there. I'm on the old Earth because look at all these horrible things that are going on. And if you look at it, see, the two are superimposed over each other right now. That's why you can still see. You're actually in the new Earth now, okay? Just stay with that.
They keep saying, when is it going to
okay?
happen? You're already happening.
There. You're already there. It's just that sitting here with the old Earth and superimposed over the other one, so you can still see what's going on the old Earth, all right? Now, and when you see those things, you have to ask yourself, because you're saying that's what's happening. It's in the world. It's
on the news.
But is it really happening to you? Is it really in your world? Okay? That's the distinction. Is it really your world? Now, it can be. You can make it your world. You can get emotionally involved in it. You can watch the news and get all caught up in that and make it your world. And what you just did is you jumped from here to here when you did that. Okay? It's so easy right now to jump from one world to the other because they're sitting on top of each other. Now, as you make choices, and that's a huge part of this, is the choices. As you make choices of what you want to think, what you want to do, that moves you. And every time you make a choice, you move.
We get to choose what timeline we shift to. We choose it through our mood, because our mood determines the actions we're going to take. There's going to be a completely different set of actions I take when I'm in a bad mood as opposed to when I'm in a good mood. And when I'm in a good mood, I can see things clearly. And that is when I'm in the higher frequency timelines. Every single version of reality exists on a different vibrational frequency. And we tune into these different parallel realities, these different timelines, based on the energy that we are emitting and aligning with. So my mood is my energy in motion. My mood, how I'm feeling, sets the tone for my day. However I'm feeling is letting me know what I'm aligning with and what's going to manifest.
Simultaneously. It's not in a sense that you actually change frequency to be like that of the world you prefer to experience, and then experience that parallel Earth that already exists on that level. It may look as if everything around you has changed, but in fact, it's you that have changed, and in a sense have shifted yourself to a world in which there already exist the versions of the other people that are germane to that world, that are on the same frequency of that world. Those that are not on that frequency will no longer appear in your reality. They will simply vanish from your life one way or another. As time goes on, even though right now you are still in a collective agreement that allows you to experience many people who have belief systems that are very different from your own, maybe even very incompatible with the frequency that you prefer, in time, this will no longer be possible. The idea will be that those people will simply phase out of your reality. They will remain in the reality in which their frequency is appropriate, and you will have vanished from their reality. Oh, I wonder whatever happened to so-and-so. They're on another Earth, having their own experience based on the frequency they most believed would occur.
In this multiverse of different realities, different timelines, every single possible version of reality exists. And whatever you're believing in most fully is what you're aligning with. If I'm buying into something, if I'm believing in something that goes against what I prefer, it's going to affect my mood, and I'm going to be emitting a signal that is a match to manifestations that I don't prefer. But if I'm believing in what I do prefer, my energy that I'm sending out will be a match to things that are going to be of my preference. There are endless different parallel realities within this multiverse, and every single version of reality exists on a different vibrational frequency. Every parallel reality resonates on a particular vibrational frequency. Our energy that we send out, the frequency that we are emitting, aligns us with other cooperative components, with other timelines, other parallel realities that are a vibrational match to the energy that we are sending out. Whatever we give our energy to, whatever we focus upon, we are calling to us by giving it the energy to manifest and perpetuate in our reality. Our vibes really matter. You are going to align with and tune into different things on different frequencies depending on what mood you are in. Every single version of events exists on a different timeline, and our energy and our mood aligns us on different timelines. And there is a timeline that represents your highest good. We need to be in an energetic state that is going to be conducive to aligning with the timelines that are a vibrational match to what we're asking for.
We want to bring you to a place of realizing that all things are possible. There is nothing that is out of reach for you. You've just got to train yourself into the frequency of it. There is nothing off limits, but there will be a sort of building of momentum. You are all day moving around with the cooperative components of your own desire, or with the cooperative components of the absence of your own desire. But cooperative components are surrounding you constantly, because you are offering a vibration that insists that components that are matching, that are cooperating with the vibration that you are sending, must come to you. You getting the sense of this? The only thing that you can control is your own vibration. And your own vibration will bring to you cooperative components of whatever the vibration is. A while ago, we wrote a book. And in the book, we described the emotional scale, where you might be depressed, you might be feeling fearful, you might be really discouraged, or you might be feeling love, you might be feeling appreciation, or something in between. You might be feeling overwhelmment or frustration. But on this emotional scale, There are frequencies of greater and greater resistance. The worse you feel, the more resistance in the frequency, and the lower the frequency because of the resistance.
When I am in low vibes, when any of us are in a lower vibrational frequency, our mood is down on the emotional scale. When we are in that area, vibrationally speaking, emotionally speaking, we cannot hear what is being broadcasted on the higher frequencies.
Vibrational alignment. New Earth is a vibrational alignment. New Earth is many things. New Earth is everybody living from their highest states of consciousness and having an actual different experience, completely different than the old. Nothing like the old. New Earth is limited by each person's limits. New Earth is only accessible through purity of our heart. New Earth is only becomes visible as we clear the heavy-duty density that we hold inside of ourselves, all the conditioning, all the programming, all of that stuff. Surrendering it all. Let it go. Let it all go. And come back to this place inside of us. It's very simple. It's utter and complete peace. There's no chaos. There's no confusion. There's no battle. There's nothing. It's just beautiful. When you get into Diamond Light Code Consciousness, then it's multifaceted perceptions, and you can see from multiple perceptions, which then will correlate to alternate realities, and you know, you can get into seeing all these things that weren't available before. It's going to be subtle at first. It's the subtle realms. But then it's no longer subtle. It's in everything. It's in every experience. It's in every aspect of your life. It's in every exchange. And so by each person holding and living this fully, and not playing out the games of separation, not playing out the duality, not playing it out, not perpetuating, not recreating it, not bringing it forth, not allowing it to continue to occur, then what you're doing is you're allowing for a whole new world. You're allowing for a whole new reality, and a completely beyond words one that really it takes experiencing it to understand. And so the beauty is now collectives are experiencing this, and they're getting, and they're like, oh, this is beautiful, this is amazing. Yes, it is.
Many times I have heard this come up in conversation where people state that they are praying, but their prayers are going unanswered. They are trying to speak to God, but God doesn't seem to hear them. And I want to share my perspective on this in hopes that it can help you to align with the reality where you can indeed see your prayers being answered. It is absolutely possible once we realize that we are creating our reality. Once we stop creating by default, by letting go of the limiting beliefs, and we start believing in what we prefer, then we can step into that energetic space of aligning with our highest good. Your prayers are always heard. They are always heard. It's the fact of what energy are we in alignment with? What kind of vibes are we matching with? It's like a radio station, okay? Imagine God's source energy to be broadcasting on a certain frequency. And unless you are in alignment with that energy, with that particular frequency, you're not going to be able to hear what's being broadcasted on that particular frequency.
The only real formula that it comes down to is this. Every single moment that you can. Now, remember, this is actually a vibrational formula, not just a nice saying. Every single moment that you can, act to the best of your ability on whatever contains the highest amount of your excitement, joy, love, creativity, and passion, to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can till you can take it no further. And do that and keep doing that no matter how it looks, no matter what form it comes in, with absolutely zero assumption, insistence, or expectation as to what the outcome of that action ought to be. That's it. That's the formula. And if you just do that every moment that you can, I guarantee that when you get in that flow,
It will lead you where you need to be led. You'll wind up exactly where you need to be, when you need to be there, with whom you need to be. And it will allow an explosion of ecstatic synchronicity in your life and create the effortless and joyful experience that you all say you desire. And it really is that simple as acting on that formula and knowing that if you do, you are using the basic structure of existence, and thus then it will support you in that positive experience in exactly the same way it has always supported you in any negative experience you chose to buy into as well. You see, you are free to choose. In a paradoxical way, the proof that you are ultimately supported is that you're actually capable of believing that you're not supported. You are so unconditionally loved and so unconditionally supported, you are allowed to believe you are not loved and not supported. That's how supported you are. So anytime you experience the idea, I'm not supported, I'm not loved, stop and take a moment to remember that the only way you could actually have that illusionary experience is if you're actually supported in your belief that that's true, which automatically means you're supported, you're loved. So why not be supported in what you prefer to be instead of being supported in what you don't? Why not? That's the ultimate question.
When we get into the higher end of the emotional scale, meaning we get ourselves into an energetic space that feels good, we are then within proximity to receive the unfolding of our prayers being answered. But when we are on the lower end of the emotional scale, we are then in alignment on different timelines, different frequencies of energy. And we are oftentimes looking at the world through this distorted lens of this lower vibrational energy.
And so if I function from a place of fear, then my reality is going to be very different. If I'm in survival mode and protection mechanisms, and my body is anchored in what we refer to as the third dimension, which is just ego consciousness, unconscious programming that's held in our physical bodies, that's got to clear.
We are still connected. We're always connected, but we can't hear clearly from those lower emotional states. Everything is distorted.
There are a lot of things that we have to shift our perception of everything in order to actually receive with great ease. And so this entire process is relearning everything all over again. And so relearning, which is re-educating ourselves and each other through the highest, absolute highest states of consciousness, pure source consciousness, and living this here.
Our energy really does matter. I feel like I say this again and again in my videos. It just really does matter. It matters when we're praying. It matters when we're interacting with people. It matters when we are at home by ourselves, because how I'm feeling is an indication of what I'm aligning with. Every single version of reality exists on a different vibrational frequency. And we tune into these different parallel realities, these different timelines, based on the energy that we are emitting and aligning with. If I am feeling lack from a situation and I feel relief from that lack by praying, that's beautiful. But if I pray and I don't feel relief, if I pray and I carry on with that doubt and that sadness, feeling like my prayers don't matter, that no one is listening, then that is what I'm aligning with. So when we pray, and we pray from this place of lack or doubt or fear, it is essentially blocking us from being able to be the witness of those prayers being answered. Because we are not in a place where we can see clearly, just like in the radio station analogy. If we are in the lower ends of the emotional scale, we're out of range from that high vibe frequency. That right there, that high vibe energy, those timelines that are represented by a good feeling energy, your mood, when you shift your mood into a higher vibe frequency, when you shift your mood and you start feeling better and you start imposing self-care and you start believing and you start knowing that you are worthy, that is when you are in alignment and you are on the timelines that are going to allow you to see your prayers being answered. Just get yourself into that energetic space where you are aligned on the right frequency to receive the message. And you can do that by getting in a place called allowing. It's an energetic space where you allow the goodness to flow by choosing to give your thoughts and energy to things that feel good. You will see the clarity and you will hear the response and you will see your prayers answered.
When each one of us hold that highest state of consciousness and we allow everything to come into alignment, we allow vibrational alignment, energetics, okay? You're like that. But come from that deeply connected place inside and realize that each person is going to receive exactly according to what they hold, exactly to what we put out to experience here, exactly how we show up. And to realize that each one of us, when from our actual highest state of consciousness, heart wide open, fully connected, deeply in tune, tears of joy, such magic, such appreciation, such beauty, that's where everybody has the ability to shift and tune their entire reality and align it very easily, but we all have to get to that point. And so all of the delay, all of the excuses, all the stories, all the judgment, all the getting caught up in all this other stuff, is what each person will have to work through in order to resolve all of that inside. And so when we start to really live from this place, then our priorities change, our realities completely change, and our human ego doesn't like change. So you have to really be open and ready and excited for what's coming. Because what's coming is always more awesome than what was coming before, if you're truly open. If your heart is closed and you're in your head and you're running in the loop circles and stuff, then that's going to be a very different reality. And that one has a completely different experience that would take me a little while to go in to explain. I'm not going to do that today. Today, it's a whole new reality. It's a whole new world. So enjoy.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about anything that I spoke on in this video, if you want to hear more about the topic of unanswered prayers, if you have anything to say at all, let me know in the comments. I'm sending you love, I'm sending you good vibes, and I'm wishing you the best always.